I've tried taking Hebrew classes in person in Toronto many years ago, and I didn't really connect with the instructor. It just wasn't working for me. Um, and of course, that was long before Zoom or Google Meet or anything like that. So I had to go there in person, and it was much more complicated. I find that this method of learning is really, really easy because it's readily available. I can log on from wherever I happen to be. The duration of the classes is just enough. I think if it would be longer, I think it might be too long. Although probably Yara could tell you that I could probably talk for another 2.5 hours every time because I love to talk. Um, but yeah, so I think my Hebrew has really improved. I'm really enjoying it. And when I most importantly, when I speak to my friends who are Hebrew speakers, who formerly we tried to converse in, they would say something in Hebrew, I would respond in English. I don't do that anymore. Now I try and speak to them in Hebrew, and it's coming along much better than it used to. Hi, my name is Ann Wiseman. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Um, I'm a retired geologist and environmental planner. And as a child, I went to Jewish day school and learned Hebrew and was actually quite fluent at the end of grade 7. And then I stopped going to Hebrew school because my family moved to another part of town and it was too far to go back to Hebrew school. So I kind of let it go for a while. But I still understood everything that I was hearing when I would speak to people in Hebrew. And I don't know, I've always wanted to get back to speaking Hebrew. I love the land of Israel. I've been several times, and I want to be able to communicate more effectively when I'm in Israel. And the classes that I've taken with Yara have been absolutely fantastic. We're doing, basically, we're just having a conversation in Hebrew. And I tell her stories. She asks me more about the stories, and through all of that, I am just practicing my conversational Hebrew. I chose to do it this way because I wanted to do like a face to face so that, I would have a relationship with the person that I was learning from. Because I think that helps after a while. I'm sure Yara could tell you crazy stories about my family and my dogs. And like, so there's a relationship there. And I'm just finding it really facilitates learning. I just like this type of learning better than learning from a book. I also actually have a book on everyday Hebrew, which I've been going through and trying to kind of reinforce what Yara and I are learning. But I think the one-on-one is an excellent way to learn. I wasn't sure that it would work for me. I thought it would. And, initially I signed up for 3 months of classes because I thought that was a good way to sort of give it a try. And it's working very, very well for me. And so I've now signed up for an additional 6 months, and I have intention of signing up again for more 6 months because I'm really finding that my Hebrew is progressing and I'm really, really enjoying it. And my plan is to go to Israel in the fall. I'm going to be volunteering with an organization called Sarel. And I think it will be of great help to me to be able to at least, have a basic conversation in Hebrew. Well, my expectation was that my language skills, just having like a day-to-day conversation, would improve, and it most definitely has. I find it much, much easier to express myself in Hebrew. And that's really all I wanted out of the classes. And I guess a bonus has been, I wasn't expecting to do a lot of writing, but I'm actually writing words down that we learn. And Yara has had me reading text, and then we discuss the content of the text, and some of it has been related to current events. So it's been very, very interesting and stimulating. Like I feel like I'm not just learning, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Like I'm learning how to speak. My experience has been that when I've taken a group class, as I mentioned, I took a group class many, many years ago. Um, I think a lot of the time you end up um, listening to other people talking and not practicing speaking yourself. If it's a one-on-one, then you have the direct attention of the instructor, and I have the best instructor there is. So I'm very fortunate because and it's not just that she's a good instructor. We really first of all, she teaches me the language very effectively. So if I make a mistake, she helps me correct the conjugation of the verb or whatever, or the tense or whatever. But it's more than that. We have a connection. Like there's a conversation going on. It's not just talking to a group full of people that I don't know. And I get much more airtime this way than if I was with a group of people. That would be, you spend a lot of time listening to other people speak and not practicing with speaking yourself. The one-on-one is excellent. I have absolutely no doubt that I would tell people to take a one-on-one class. It's just a very, very good way to learn. And I really think that my Hebrew has progressed a lot in a relatively short period of time. So I would really recommend, if you're looking to improve your Hebrew quickly and to become much more fluent, to take one-on-one classes through Revital's company. I have found it to be really, really very, very effective way to learn a language and to practice a language. Because I had the basics before, but I could barely put a sentence together. Now I can, I'm not saying I'm fluent now because I'm far from fluent, but I have improved greatly, I think. And it's because of the one-on-one.